South Florida, the bottom of the clip of the gunshine state. One of them boys still boating in that way. Big plate, get it for the 18 if you straight. Get K and stop hating, it's the motto of the state. A lot of face, but it's still real around here. That foreign talk, that can get you killed down here. Niggas better learn the lingo, cause they'll be looking for you in that water finding Nemo. See, Palm Beach County be the craziest. Them Broward County niggas be the craziest. And them Dade County niggas be the wildest. Shout out to Bell Glaze and my niggas at Fort Myers. Salute to all my Florida boys out here on the grind. When niggas out here getting dough with that snow and the sunshine. Ducking 9, waiting at the port to bring in that order. Cause niggas like depend on what come across that water. Welcome to South. I was born in the South, raised in the South. A Dade County nigga that was made in the South.
Yo.
You get me, Rich?
I can hear you.
Oh, Lamar Jackson won MVP? Is that official?
I guess it's official, man.
I don't have NFL honors on.
You know what? I quite don't. It's weird how they do awards for the NFL anyway, in my opinion. I think they should do it earlier, kind of like college before.
You think they should what?
I think they should do it earlier, like at the end of the season. Like don't even like before the playoffs even start. But anyway,
I think that's by design because I don't think that they. Hold on, let me mute this. I don't think that they want to put a unnecessary target on the person's back. Because let's say that person's making a deep playoff run, and then they're doing a thing, and then the next thing you know, it's like, oh, we got the MVP coming here. Like, if I'm a defensive back, if I'm a linebacker, if I'm a defensive lineman, yeah, I probably want to put a hit on you a little bit more.
That's true.
I want to knock you the hell out the game now because, you know.
That is true.
So we started on time. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button if you haven't already. We appreciate y'all. Yes, breaking news. It's a good night for Dade County, man. It's a good night for Miami, for South Florida as a whole. 2, not 1, but 2 Hall of Famers. And Rich, I'm gonna get into my thoughts about this because I think I got this weird feeling that a lot of that shit was calculated, and I'll get into my conspiracy theory in a little bit, but. And if it is official, Lamar Jackson's MVP, then yeah, that's three guys from the crib, man. That had their moment this evening. Obviously, you want it to be a little bit better. It's kind of bittersweet because 3 of them one has yet to win a championship. I think he will, and 2 of them, one got to the Super Bowl. Was absolutely explosive in his homecoming to the city of Miami. And the other one, you know, he was consistently on a not very great Houston Texans team, but all in all, still in there. He's still in their circle of honor. He's still a Hall of Famer. Granted, not first ballot, like Gage said. I've stood on this and I'll die on this hill. I don't understand how Devin Hester was not a first ballot Hall of Famer. But before I get into that, I'll let you speak your piece.
Well, I mean, I do. Nobody has ever done what Devin Hester has done, where you go into the league and you are a specialist and you last that long in the league. I think first and foremost that feat, I don't know if that's going to be done again. You have to be pretty special, and Devin Hester was really, really special when it comes to playing special teams. Because, like I said, a lot of people, unless you're a kicker, it's kind of hard to make a living on special teams in the NFL. So, shout out to him for real. And I think he wasn't a first ballot Hall of Famer because a lot of people didn't really. Nobody had ever seen it before. Nobody ever seen a guy basically name his mark when it comes to kickoff or punt return, where he's like, look, man, I'm going to score the first touchdown of the game in the Super Bowl. I don't think that's how do you do that? It's one of the hardest things to do on the football field. And you're like, yeah, man, I'm gonna go ahead and make my mark early. It's hard to do. So shout out to him for real. Andre Johnson, if first of all, if you think about the Houston Texans, they're a short-lived franchise. I know they used to be the Houston Oilers, but when you think about Andre Johnson, Andre Johnson is probably the brightest spot on that team. He's probably the best player to ever play for the Houston Texans. J.J. Watt is a close second, but Andre Johnson held that terrible franchise down for almost a decade, if not a decade. And to be quite honest with you, had he been on any other team that was winning, had he been with any team, honestly, any of the top 10 teams during his era that was winning, not only does he shatter a lot of receiving records, but they probably win a Super Bowl. So that's how good Andre Johnson was. I don't even, to me personally, I would say that Andre Johnson was better than a Julio Jones, better than an AJ Green. He was really the total package when you talk about having a wide receiver one. He was a total package for real. So shout out to them boys. Shout out to South Florida. Lamar wins another MVP, and Lamar still got 5, 6, 7 plus years ahead of him. Hopefully they can get it done. I know a lot of things is out of his control in terms of the personnel around him, but hopefully within the next couple of years, Lamar could get it done and win a Super Bowl as
well. First of all, shout out to Devin James was good. Shout out to X, man. I'll make sure y'all say what up to X in the chat. Before I go, X, we just talked about it. What's your thoughts, man? What's your thoughts on
the Hall of Fame?
Yeah, these two legends in the Hall of Fame now.
Well, I'm still pissed because we got like Reggie Wayne, Otis Anderson still sitting there. Brian McKinney. I'm happy because we got 2 in, but I'm still pissed. Like, come on, NFL, what y'all doing? Like, we got guys sitting there waiting. That should have been in the Hall of Fame, man. Reggie Wayne, I'm still confused.
Yep.
Otis Anderson, I'm confused because he was probably one of the first running backs to eclipse over like 9,000 yards and a certain amount of touchdowns, and he still hasn't gotten in.
Mm-hmm.
B-Mac, he's all-pro left tackle for, like, it's just crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. But we gonna celebrate.
Has Brian McKinney been out the league long enough to be eligible yet?
Yes, Brian McKinney been out the league. Brian McKinney retired like around. Hold on, because somebody just tweeted me that too. Yeah, Brian McKinney actually was out of the league before Andre Johnson.
Oh yeah, someone said Vince Wilfork too. Vince Wilfork left after though.
I think Vince Wilfork is. Hold on. Okay, go
right. Yeah, he might not be eligible yet.
Vince Wilfork. Okay, no, he's eligible now. He's eligible because he retired 2018, so he's eligible now.
Okay.
And then Frank Gore, they want him and
Frank Gore's definitely making it. He's the top. He's a top 3 running back all time.
2025
all time.
Okay, yeah, he should be first ballot. That shouldn't be a question.
I mean,
and it's going to be a while. The
way they doing, it's hard, you know what I'm saying? Because running backs aren't getting in as much as they should. I guess the way the receivers playing the game now,
I ain't gonna hold you. I'm going back and looking at all these great quarterbacks, and I'm starting to see it's not like Montana and Rice. It's more like Mahomes and Kelsey, or because you see Antonio Gates made it? No, it's not Antonio Gates. What's my man that just made it?
He hasn't made it yet. He hasn't made it. Man, you know,
the dude
hasn't even made it yet. Like,
I thought Torrey's gonna get in before Andre Johnson. From being honest, I thought he was gonna get in before Andre. I didn't expect Andre to get in this year. So, and I think Torrey Hope falls in the modern era, right?
Yeah. I think he left before Andre also.
Way before Andre. He was on a Great Show on Turf from like what? That was like in the mid 90s, late 90s.
I'm not even sure. Is Isaac Bruce in?
Isaac Bruce might be.
I don't know.
What? Yeah, I don't know if Isaac Bruce in. Look, I'm gonna tell you what's so crazy. I think what was the receiver that was with the Bills with Jim Kelly and Thurman Thomas?
Not Roscoe Parrish.
No, I'm talking about when they was going to Super Bowl every year and they kept losing.
With Jim Kelly and Thurman Thomas.
Andre Reed? Is it Andre Reed?
Andre Reed, yep.
So you know how many years it took Andre Reed to get in?
Oh, first you said Isaac Bruce is a Hall of Famer.
Okay, so
in 2020.
Who was the better receiver on that team?
On that team, I think. Okay, so remember Isaac Bruce got there before Torrey Hope. He got there before Torrey Hope, so he was already established before Torrey Hope got there. When Torrey Hope got there, then it just kind of took it light years out of his way because you had two receivers. Two
basically two wide receiver ones, you know what I'm saying, for that era on the field at any time.
Yeah, but that's crazy. You know, we got 11 Canes in. And names I just pulled up, probably around 2030. You know what I'm saying? We could have almost 19 guys in here.
And that's the part that I'm kind of getting frustrated about is that with Hester, right? Because I think, and this will transition to my next topic, but I think that it's something to be said. I honestly believe that there is a agenda to slow down some of these guys getting in, because all these guys from that early 2000 Canes team, they played at the same time and retired roughly around the same time, right? Granted, I mean, massive impacts. We can't say today in this day and age, a guy that comes out in the first round or second round, you know what I'm saying, that has the type of impacts that a lot of these guys from the University of Miami did. Like all these schools claim like, oh, we're NFLU, but I have yet to see a school put out a consistent number of players that have the same caliber and impact on the game when they got to the league as the University of Miami does. And I'm trying to be as unbiased as I can, but
you can't even be unbiased because if you look at it from, man, you can look at it from the 80s. From once UM started getting hot, start sending players to the league, look at it from the 80s till now. You saying, yeah, it's not many teams that could say, okay, well, yeah, they sent the guys in and they had an immediate impact.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? From the 80s, I mean, you start with Jim Kelly. Jim Kelly got to the Bills, immediate impact guy. You know what I'm saying? You going with the Cortez Kennedys, the Jerome Browns. Granted, he didn't play long because of a tragic death.
Yeah.
Michael Irvin,
Ted Hendricks.
Ted Hendricks. The what's his name? Blaze.
The Blaze brothers. Yep.
Blaze brothers. It keeps going.
I'm waiting for a school like did you? I heard a crazy stat during the playoffs. Apparently, Alabama players have thrown touchdowns, but an Alabama player has apparently never scored in the Super Bowl. Like for all the players they put out, for as good as they've been for the last 2 decades, they've never had a guy cross the pylon, across the white line into the end zone for all the players that they put out.
That's crazy because I'm trying to remember it. Did Sean Alexander? Didn't Sean Alexander? They didn't go to the Super Bowl with Sean Alexander.
Well, he was on the Seahawks. Under Pete Carroll or before that.
I don't even know if Pete Carroll was.
I think
there.
that was before Pete Carroll.
Yeah, that was way before Pete Carroll. I'm thinking before Pete Carroll because that's when he was. Remember him and the Daniel Thompson kept battling for MVP and who was going to score the most touchdowns.
I think it was 1 year. I think it was 1 year where they did go to the Super Bowl, but I'm not sure if he scored though.
Oh well, yeah, that's crazy. I mean, that was their best guy. That was their best guy right there. And if he couldn't score, then yeah. But yeah, you could be biased. You could be biased. It's no team done it like you. The NFL knows it. The sports writers knows it. Everybody knows it. It's just the fact that we haven't been, I guess, so-called relevant in 20 plus years. They saying 20 years. And the fact that we still have guys entering to the NFL Hall of Fame, it's like, uh-oh. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. That's why I feel like it's calculated. Here's my issue, and I want to let Rich Clark. I wanted to get your thing before I go on my No, Sean Zion didn't score in that game. They scored with 21-10. They lost to the Steelers.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't score in that game.
Yeah,
he led the game in rushes.
Up.
Yeah, he had 20 carries and 95 yards, but he never got in the end zone.
Yeah, he tore it up that season too.
Oh wow, that's crazy. Because I'm thinking, I know I remember Sean Alexander playing the Super Bowl, and I'm like, wow, he didn't score. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. And I think some no-name running back went for like a 75-yard rushing touchdown in the Super Bowl.
That's
Willie
crazy.
Parker.
So you basically saying what? Okay, so what time frame are they talking about? They saying like forever? Like no Alabama player has scored a touchdown.
I think ever. I don't think a player from the University of Alabama has crossed the plane. I think Joe Namath, right? That played for Alabama.
Namath is the only quarterback.
Joe Namath, he threw a touchdown in the Super Bowl, but I don't think an Alabama player has ever crossed the plane.
That was in what, 1950, 1960?
Yeah. So
the world population wasn't even born.
I want to say this. I feel like, and it's not even a feeling, actually, I should just say, I don't understand how someone can be legitimately. They said they made a list of the 150 best players in the history of the game through their first 150 years. You're telling me Devin Hester got no questions asked, identified as the best kick returner ever. Now, we've seen some fantastic kick returners, right? Like what's my man that used to throw the X up? Dante Hall,
yeah.
Deion Sanders, like we've seen some greats.
Don't forget the guy who was at
Dale Green.
No, the guy who was at the Eagles was
Deshaun Jackson.
No, not Deshaun Jackson. It was it the Eagles? He was number 30. Was it Brian? Come on, villains. I know you guys know. What was the guy who played for was it the Eagles? I'm thinking it was the Eagles. Or was it Washington?
Not Brian Dawkins.
No, he played. He was like the running back, but he never got in the game at running back. He was just on
the short. He was short. He was real short.
Oh man, I know what you're talking about.
He went to like Kansas State or something like that.
Went to Kansas State.
No, not him. I know what you're talking about. Not him. You talk about Darryl Sproles.
Darren Sproles. Darren Sproles.
No. Yeah, he went to Kansas State.
Westbrook, that's his name. Westbrook. You don't remember Brian Westbrook?
No.
I do, but I think Sproles was better. Maybe I'm just looking at
Sproles is probably more explosive, but Brian Westbrook was like, I think he should get in because that was his job, like special teams. I'm talking about kick return, punt return. He'll go down there and make tackles. He did it all. But they ain't gonna put him in for that. So,
but to finish my point, you telling me that you saying that this man is the best returner in the 150 years of the game being played. Is that true? Shout out to Ms. Wilcox. She said Miami has the first place in any of the NFL players ever in the history of NFL Super Bowl appearances.
No. USC is number one.
Oh, okay. I know we up there though. We top 5.
We number one with the most point score. We number one with the most point score. We number 2 or 3. I think we number 3 with the most appearances because USC is up there, and Michigan. It's USC or it's Michigan. USC is one of them, and then it's us after both of those guys. So
Christian McCaffrey just won AP Player of the Year. But anywho, so I'm saying you're saying he's one of the best 150 players to ever play the game in the first 150 years of the sport, but he's a third ballot Hall of Famer. And I get it, right? He didn't do anything on offense or defense, but Devin Hester made coaches consider the third and often most forgot phase of the game, which is special teams. We typically look at it like, oh, yeah, the kicker, punter, or whatever, kickoff return, guy's going to fair catch it or kneel in the end zone, whatever. But this man got on the field and he changed the entire dynamic of a team, like single-handedly. Not to mention, I think it's just Hall of Fame material in itself that he broke Deion Sanders' record for most kickoff returns of all time in an Atlanta Falcons jersey. Man, that's gangster in itself.
He's the Hall of Famer itself because the year that Chicago Bears went to the Super Bowl, if it's not for 23, they don't win half of the games they won.
Right.
And
that was his rookie year, right?
That was his rookie year. They don't win half of the games they win if 23 is not there.
Like he's single-handed, like you could argue he could be MVP that year. I don't think that's even a question, if I'm being honest with you.
Yeah.
Like we could really have that. We could have that conversation that just simply by himself, like just the way he changed the game, was worth talking about. Like we saw it in Miami. It was like a lot of us kind of even thought like yeah, cool, that might not carry over to the league. And then he got to the league and day one made a difference. And you're trying to tell me that he shouldn't have been a first ballot? But you're saying he's the best returner you've ever seen in the history of the game. He's the top 150 player you've ever seen in the history of the game. He almost saved a Super Bowl for them, right? Because a lot of that stuff was because they had Rex Grossman at quarterback. I want to put that in perspective.
Yeah, that team was bad offensively, man.
Rex Grossman
was good. They offense was bad, and then they had the GOAT, Devin Hester.
Rex Grossman can't even sniff the idea of being in the Hall of Fame.
Rex Grossman was like a horrible quarterback.
Yeah, it's terrible.
He's a horrible quarterback. He goes down in the long line of horrible Florida Gator quarterbacks.
I'm just trying to make sense of it. Like I have nothing against the Hall of Fame, right? I appreciate what they do, but this, like I said, this man is different, man. Like one of the most emotionally thrilling, like and roller coaster type ever, like rides of my life was watching this man field a kick. A missed field goal in the back of the end zone, and then casually start walking out against my Giants. And I'm like, oh, he ain't gonna return that. Like he probably gonna say, and then he takes off running, and I'm looking like, there's no way he's really returning this right now. I've never been more pissed and excited in one time in my entire life, like outside watching that career. I was like, this man was pure electricity. Like I said, whenever he hit the field, you had to be careful. Like, hey, 23 got the ball. We need to be concerned. I don't care if he didn't play on offense I do not care. He changed the game with the phases of, and then, like I said, shout out to Sean, like, to go home, well, I mean, technically home. He ain't from Miami, but to go back where you played at, first play of the game back home and to return a kick, you know what I'm saying? First play of the game, and the whole stadium know you getting the ball. What are we talking about? Like, the whole stadium knows you're getting the ball.
I'm gonna tell you a crazy story about this. That's the Super Bowl was in Miami. It was raining. It's crazy, man. I was at Tussie's. I was just in Tussie's. I'm getting ready to leave Tussie's actually. But the game come on. I said, you know what? Let me stay right quick. You know what I'm saying? They about to kick it off, man. And they kicked it off, man. And even the announcers was like, man, don't kick it to that guy. You know what I'm saying? And they were like, well, they did a good job by kicking it short because now they could cover it. And he got the ball, man, and he and I mean, you know, wasn't even no Bears fans in Tussies, but the whole Tussies erupted. You know, I guess because you know he's a Hurricane, they just erupted. I was like, dang, well, they about to beat the Colts. They about to beat Peyton Manning. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, the Bears defense was so good that year that I didn't think the Colts could beat them. You know, but yeah, you know, Peyton Manning did his thing, man. And then, you know, another guy who was on the team, on the Colts team that should be in was Reggie Wayne. Him throwing a little touchdown to Wayne, but yeah, I'm happy for him and Andre, man. Andre deserved it. Andre was in a bad relationship with quarterbacks at Houston.
Man, who you tell? I can't tell you a quarterback that threw him the ball. I don't know their name.
Man,
I don't know the quarterback.
David Carr. No, not David Carr. Is it David Carr or what's the brother name? The one that got drafted for Houston.
Derek Carr.
No, David Carr.
David Carr. Yeah, Derek Carr's the younger brother.
Yeah, David Carr's the younger one. He's playing. Yeah, he had David Carr. Oh my gosh, he was, man. He wasn't as bad, but he just didn't make the plays. You know what I'm saying? He got sacked. He had Matt Schwab. Oh my gosh. I don't even know who he had after that. That was just...
I'm waiting for you to tell me a guy that's at least in the conversation that'll be a quarterback that would have been worth Hall of Fame. He didn't play with one. And for him to do it, he did.
He never did. I mean, at the end of the year, close. He went to, I forget what team he went to, that he had a decent quarterback, but he was like, man, he was kind of done by that time. Oh yeah, here you go right here, man. That's he gone. It's like
when Buddy slipped right there, I said it's over with, dog. Like,
yeah.
I was going for the Bears because of Devin Hester, right? I don't think Indianapolis even had any Miami Hurricanes on their team at the time. And if they did, it was like very few. Was Chuck Pagano still the coach of this team? No. Yeah, he was like, but like just to see him come back to Miami and do it of all places, I think like you can't write a better script. If the NFL is scripted, goddamn, you can't write a better script because that was it. That was absolutely it, man. Shout out to D Hess, man. But let's transition to Andre, man. Like Andre Johnson. We just talked about didn't get much help. This is his third try as well, I think. Right?
Yeah. Again, I'm still. How the hell does he not get in the first time? Like, man.
I think they look at things like, I know you look at like Pro Bowl selection. I know you look at all pro teams, obviously, and where you placed on them. I think they also have to look at season performance.
I understand all that, but he was basically battling Calvin Johnson to be 1 or 2 receiver in the NFL for years. It wasn't just like
for years.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody was saying, "Oh, you want a receiver? Who you going to take?" Oh, was either Calvin Johnson or you going to take Andre Johnson? Which one?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it was like, I mean, he had years where he was the best receiver in the NFL. I think when you have multiple years where you are the best player at your position, you got to get in. You know what I'm saying? I think that's going to be.
Damn. Hold on. X. They shut us down for copyright. I ain't got no music playing in the back.
What you got to do? Wait for like 10 seconds or something?
Something like that. Let me go ahead and stop sharing this. They hating on us. I usually have this up too.
So we show like some other content creator highlights, then we'll be straight.
I don't know the rules with these things, man.
You're not allowed to show the like the NFL or play music that's copyrighted, stuff like that, or NBA. You know, you can't show like the professional stuff, and then like even with college football, you can't do the ACC if it got like the logo on it. You can't do it. Anything that got the logos and stuff on it, you can't do it. They gonna copyright it. So, I mean, they gonna come and shut it down.
All right, we back. We back, y'all. They hated on us, but we back. Anywho, still gonna talk my shit. Yeah, Andre Johnson, we agree. Never got legitimate help, and yeah, like I said, had a few years and a few seasons where he was the best receiver in the NFL. Long overdue, well deserved. I'm happy that they're both in. I said it a couple years ago when was it Ray that got in or Ed Reed? I think after Ed Reed got in, I said there's about to be a little run of Hurricanes players. Like I think there's going to be an actual like I thought it was going to be some back-to-back years because of how close in proximity they all got out the NFL, and it didn't happen.
When you say Ed Reed, I guess the years it started with I mean, I guess you got to say Ray Lewis because after Ray Lewis got, then it was Ed Reed came right after Ray.
Yeah.
Right?
It might have been a season or two, but yeah.
And then I'm trying to remember Okay, so what year that Ray got in? Because I'm trying to see how long it took for Ray. Because Warren Sapp was the previous last one before Ray, right?
I believe so. Between him and Irvin, I don't remember which one.
No, Irvin got in like because remember Irvin got in early 2000s. Irvin got in.
He got in. He was in the class. Ray Lewis in the class of 2018.
Ray Lewis in 2018. So Sapp. Okay, so yeah, Sapp had to be maybe like earlier than that. Then
I remember watching Sapp's speech.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that wasn't that long ago.
That had to be 2000 and maybe. Yeah, Sapp probably had to get in like 2008, 2009.
No, he got in 2013. So he got in 5 years before. Damn.
13, yeah.
When did Sapp retire though?
You got to wait 5 years, so that means he had to retire at least 2008. 2007, yeah.
2008.
I'm pretty sure he was first ballot.
Yeah, so you got Sapp 13, then Ray 18. Ed was what 20?
Let's see.
Ed was 20 or
2019.
Okay, see, yeah. So Ed was right after Ray.
Yeah.
So yeah. You just had a little moment where it was gonna be a Kane regardless.
But I thought honestly he was gonna start a nasty little streak, man. Because we had some guys that was definitely should have been in consideration, and we kind of I ain't gonna say we got hold, but we definitely got kind of pushed off by the wayside, in my opinion. So, but
I mean, hey, I don't care. I'm lobbying for Otis Anderson. I don't care. It's nothing they can tell me. It's not a reason they can say why Otis Anderson not in.
Yeah.
No way they could tell me. I mean, he came in 2 back-to-back over 1,500 yards rushing. Shit, you know what I'm saying? Over 9,000 yards, was basically the first start of the running back youth from Miami. You know what I'm saying? The first. You know what I'm saying? Miami's the only team to have maybe 4 or 5 running backs over 9,000 yards rushing.
Mm-hmm.
What's the over under? What's the over under that you think what's name makes it next? This wasn't Reggie Wayne been a semifinalist, right?
Yeah, Reggie Wayne he's been waiting. He's been waiting for a little minute.
And then who did we just say didn't make it this year that we should
Reggie Wayne, and then I guess you're saying the next up will be Vince and Otis. Well, sorry, I'm not even gonna keep calling it Otis because it seemed like they just forgot about old Otis. Hold on, let me see.
Oh, Vince Wilfork. We said when Vince Wilfork and
Vince Wilfork. I don't know if he gets in first ballot, though. So
really? Vince Wilfork got some Super Bowl rings.
He do.
He does.
So
Several.
that might get him in the first
And,
ballot.
and I'm pretty sure if Andre got in third ballot, I think Vince Wilfork definitely got a shot.
I think so too. I think he
There
gets
was a
in.
few years he was the best defensive tackle in the NFL. It wasn't even close.
Right. If not first, second for sure.
I would love for him and Wayne to get in next year, take that number from 11 to 13, and then we'll be one out the tie and lead with Notre Dame.
Shout out to Miss Wilcox again. Another name, Vilma.
Jonathan Vilma, I think so. Jonathan Vilma won a championship too.
Yeah, but I don't think he gets in. It's gonna be kind of hard for him to get in.
How many years he played?
Yeah, it's the Roger Goodell thing. Him and Roger don't really like each other.
But you gotta look at it like this, man. Look how long it took them to put Zach Thomas in. I mean, Zach Thomas was like that.
Yeah, but Zach Thomas didn't win nothing. That's the thing. Zach Thomas was great. I think that plays a part of it. Like you have to look at that.
So
like, what did you win? And if you were obviously, an impact on that team.
I think it's kind of different than because linebacker is kind of different than
because Pat Willis only played 8 years.
That's why you got to win. That's why.
And it's Pat Willis' first time.
So Patrick Willis. I don't think he won with San Fran.
He didn't. I don't think he made a Super Bowl appearance, and he only played 8 years. But like I said, you got to be either.
He was the best linebacker in the NFL.
Yeah, you gotta win you gotta either win a bunch of individual awards, a lot. He was talking. Rich was talking earlier about.
Otis Anderson won a Super Bowl. He won a Super Bowl with the Giants.
You're right.
Why is he not in the Hall of Fame? He won a Super Bowl.
I don't know. I do not know.
They let what's his name? What's the one who played for Denver? Terrell.
What's his name?
Davis? No, not Davis.
Terrell Davis. Yeah, Terrell Davis.
Yeah, they let Terrell Davis in. They gotta let Otis Anderson in.
And Terrell Davis played all of 3 years?
Basically, outside of them 2 years they won the Super Bowl, nobody really knew about Terrell Davis.
Right.
They gotta let Otis.
Yeah, I'm looking at one of Vince Wilfork's stats though. 2-time Super Bowl champion, first team All Pro in 2012, 3-team second team all 3-time second team All Pro 2007, 2010, and 2011. 5-time Pro Bowler from 2007, and then every year from 2009 to 2012 on the New England Patriots All 2000 team, New England Patriots 50th anniversary team, All 2010s team.
Stat after stat.
I don't see how you don't make it. He graduated. Well, he retired in 2014? 2016. Yeah, he played for the Texans 2015 to 2016.
So yeah, he's already eligible. He just I don't think he's become a finalist just yet.
I know it'd be hard for him just because it's a D tackle, and it's easy to get overshadowed playing with y'all greatest quarterback all the time. Not mine, but But
that could be a thing. You think that could be a thing where, a lot of those guys on that Patriots team during that era don't really touch the Hall of Fame until after Tom Brady does?
I don't think that you should. I don't think you can hold everybody else because one man ain't getting in. Now I would say this based off what he did.
Once Tom Brady is eligible for the Hall of Fame, I don't even think they're gonna announce anybody else. They're just gonna say it's the Tom Brady Hall of Fame.
I was gonna say I would be okay with bending the rules for him. I don't think he should have to wait 5 years. You can have a resume like that with 2 different teams and then wait the regular. I think you should just be able to kind of.
I agree.
When he's talking about first ballot, he should be first thought Hall of Fame. You know what I'm saying? And I don't even think he's a GOAT. I'm just being honest. I'm just calling spade and calling stats. I think
you got to do special things for players that were special for that long.
Yeah.
Because we're naming so many guys that could be in the Hall of Fame, and then you start to ask yourself, what's the criteria? I mean, if you're a running back who had 4,000 yards in your whole career, but you was MVP once, but you get in the Hall of Fame. Okay, well, what's the cry? I mean, obviously, that's the stats that should come first is your production. So
always, in
yeah,
my opinion, like if like production as far as if you won, if you didn't win,
yeah,
how many times were you the best at your position despite you not winning, right? So someone like
exactly.
Lamar, like if the Hall of Fame stopped tomorrow and we was like, hey, put current NFL players in, like obviously Mahomes would be ahead of Lamar by a pretty sizable margin, right?
Yeah,
But in theory, based off the criteria, yeah, Mahomes should make it in first ballot, no question. Lamar could possibly be second ballot if they were going head to head. Does that make sense?
if you could only get one quarterback for that year and they were both on the ballot, then yes. But if they were in different years, I mean, Lamar's going to be with the career he has now, would probably be a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yeah, because we talk about Andre Johnson. Lamar is the quarterback version of Andre Johnson. He's just the opposite. Like
pretty much.
This on paper this year should have been the best receiving core he's ever had in his 6 years in the league. He basically been depending on the tight end, you know what I'm saying, for most of his career.
And to be honest, it's funny you mentioned that, Mehdi, because when you look at his receivers and then you compare that to what Kansas City has without Tyreek Hill, you're like, bruh, there was still work to be done in that receiving core.
I can agree. So yeah, I'm pretty solid on the idea of Calais Campbell's probably first ballot.
I think so.
Someone brought that up. Gore, first ballot.
Calais Campbell, Frank Gore, Greg Olsen. I'm not asleep. I was reading something on the phone.
Is Shockey's coming eligible soon?
Shockey not getting in.
You think so? He's not getting first ballot. Shockey getting in.
No, Shockey not. Shockey didn't have that long of a career to get in like that.
I get that, but the man won. He won a championship. He won a Super Bowl. I don't know if it was different. I can't remember if he was with both of them or not, but he definitely won the Super Bowl. One of them he didn't play in at all, but that season he was arguably the best receiver on the field. Probably not best. I'm lying. Victor Cruz was there, but he definitely was solid.
You know a guy. I'm finna look up his stats right now because I think. I mean, this is just my personal. I think Antrell Rowe's
getting in. Antrell Rowe won Super Bowl with two different teams.
Yeah.
Shout out my guy, man. That's my guy. Hold on, let me go grab this real quick.
Yeah, so Antrell Rowe, 11 years. He had
shout out the guy, man.
26 career.
That's my guy. Shout out that boy Trell, man.
Career touchdown, 26 interceptions, 4 career touchdowns.
I'm pretty sure he made a couple All Pro. I know he made a Pro Bowl or two.
Oh, he made a couple. Oh, okay, he made 2. Selected to the Pro Bowl twice. No, 3 times. Selected to the Pro Bowl 3 times.
Yeah, 2 times second team All Pro.
837 tackles. Yeah, he should be one to get in.
Yeah, he played 10 years. He won a Super Bowl. Oh, he lost one. When he lost with the Cardinals, he won one with the Giants. Yeah, 2-time second team All Pro, 3-time Pro Bowler, 834 sacks, 4 sacks, 8 forced fumbles, 69 pass deflections, 26 interceptions, and 5 defensive touchdowns. He's definitely getting in. I don't think on home and say he's not going to be first ballot because at this rate it's probably looking like that, but he's definitely getting in. That's not a question.
Yeah. Speaking of that Giants team, that was really good. JPP, I think he's probably going to be first ballot.
No. JPP's getting in. He's not first ballot though. He's definitely getting in.
The reason I say so is he reminds me of Calais Campbell. in terms of the longevity of their careers and for them to be relevant so long, to and for him to couple it with, I think, did he win 1 or 2 Super Bowls?
I'm pretty sure he won 2 with us.
One, I think it was 1. He wasn't on that.
Yeah, he wasn't on the first one. Yeah, he was on the first one.
He was on that first.
He was still in college.
Yeah.
Again, so that's another name we could add. That's another name we could have added to the Hurricanes intro road. I just had to think of that one. Like, man, that's crazy.
Because Wilcox is Vilma before Shockey and Goran Johnson.
And I'm
I don't know about that.
I'm gonna give Gore is the top 3 all time in his position in NFL history.
Right.
Like that's a given in itself. And he didn't play for great San Francisco teams either. They just gave.
I'm gonna give 3 names who could have gotten in. One, if he would have played for a better team, he would have gotten in. Santana Moss.
Yeah.
Injuries messed this guy up. Willis McGahee messed him up. And then
what about Portis?
I was just finna say Portis. Portis came in. Portis was one of the first running backs to come in the league and have 3 straight
1,500-yard seasons.
Yeah, like that was.
Edgerrin James did I think 5.
Yeah, Edgerrin James did. Clint Portis did it. Like that was. It was.
We forgot about Edgerrin James. When did Edgerrin James get in?
That was
2 years ago.
Yeah, he just got in 2 years ago.
Yeah, I got his shirt still. I love that little saying he had. From gold teeth to gold jacket, I love that shit, man. That shit so Dade County, dog. That shit hard.
So man, look, I was watching that today.
That shit is so tough.
Let me see who finna get in. I woke up happy, like we had a football game. I was like, yeah, boy, it's finna be exciting.
And to get 2 guys in, I think it's like I said, that's huge, man. Because they both going to talk about Miami. Every single one of the guys who got in so far have. It's something that they do not shy away from.
Andre ain't gonna talk about nothing but Miami.
He was wearing Miami gear when they show up to his house.
Yeah, he ain't gonna talk about nothing but Miami. Devin Hester, I know one thing he will, because he did have the emotional interview when he talked about his dad. Of course, he's gonna talk about where he's from and stuff like that. He'll talk about University of Miami also, but I know Andre ain't talking about nothing. But man, he gonna be like, man, the Canes, the Miami High, the Miami lifestyle. He's a Miami guy.
Yeah, Kyle brought up a good point too. Jimmy Graham. I mean, he still got some time because he keep playing, but he's getting in. Yeah, I can't say first. I can't say first ballot for sure right now.
First ballot
because he got like almost 89, 90 touchdowns, so he gets in. That's kind of amazing.
And he got a Super Bowl ring, and I'm pretty sure he made some Pro Bowl teams.
I have to say this though, if I had to pick, Clinton Portis or Santana Moss, who would get in first, I would go with Clinton Portis because that stretch, that 3-4 year stretch that he had in the league, man, it was just exciting. He was exciting to watch.
He was the man. Edgerrin James was the man, and then that year I remember it was the year Edgerrin James he got hurt. Then Clinton Portis was the man. It was like, damn, okay, so the next Hurricane running back, and that's why they were so excited about Willis McGahee. They were so excited about Frank Gore. They were excited about, oh boy, this is what Miami bringing. Like Miami bringing that heat at running back. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
you know what? To follow up all them guys, man, may rest in peace. If Sean Taylor was alive, man, if he would have been able to retire from the NFL, he'd probably already be in the Hall of Fame.
That's a huge question mark too, because in my heart, obviously, I want him to go in, and he was trending towards having a Hall of Fame type career, but unfortunately, his life was tragically cut short. So, would the NFL just based off potential put him in? Because what was his stats looking like? And mind you, he also played for a not great.
Like 2.5 or 3.5 years, 3 years and a half. And he was already at like 12 interceptions in those 3 years.
Right.
Yeah.
He had like 300 total tackles, 12 interceptions. He had like a couple touchdowns returned.
Yeah, 241 tackles, 8 forced fumbles, 8 forced fumbles as a safety, 12 picks, 41 passes defended.
In 5 years.
In 4
years.
3 years, because he played 3 and then he only played 6 games the year he got killed.
Yeah, I said he played 9 the year he got 9 games played. Even that year he was going stupid. That year is when he had 5 picks through 9 games, 1 forced fumble. Yeah, he was going stupid. He was getting better. Like he almost matched his career total in the first 3 seasons, almost in that year alone. So, and he still had another 6 games to play.
Yes, it was 17 games back then. Or was 16?
I think it was 15.
I wasn't 15. It was always like either 16 or 17.
Because this thing's showing. Don't kill me, YouTube.
Yeah, I think it was 16 games. So,
but because his first 2 years, you got to see that he had 15, and I don't think they made the playoffs. So 16 might be between the playoffs.
It was 16, so he probably didn't play a game. It was always 16 games per season. So he probably ain't played like a game, stuff like that. So if he played 9 games, he had 7 more left. Yeah, he would have. Yeah,
he probably would have had double-digit interceptions that season.
I seen somebody post that. Yeah, I didn't even know that Willis McGahee had 3. He had 1,000 yards on 3 different teams. I didn't know that. That's impressive. Very impressive.
And that's what I'm saying. I think with the way they started to value running backs, like we really gotta strike with the irons hot, like with these guys, because as mobile quarterbacks are becoming more and more normalized, like they really about to hold these running backs. So we gotta get these guys in sooner rather than later.
Well, yeah, running backs is. I mean, you can kind of forget it. I think after once Adrian Peterson get in and Frank Gore get in, you can kind of forget any other running back getting in. That's it. Like,
maybe Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry got something to say. Shout out to Yulee, Florida.
I mean, what Derrick Henry stats looking like? He
leads the running back. He leads rushing yards almost every year. Almost every year, I think he led rushing yards again this year.
I mean, okay. So how many total yards he have now? If he's close to 10,000,
let's look.
But again, I think after Adrian Peterson and Frank Gore, man, maybe Shady McCoy. Yeah, it's
I think that's why a lot of these dudes be doing media too. If we want me to be honest, I think they want to kind of stay relevant. I think they want to keep their name.
You got to.
He had 1,100 yards this year. So far, he had 9,502.
Yeah, so he right at that brink with
in 7 seasons.
Gahey and Otis Anderson and stuff like that. So
he got 1,500 yards receiving. Only 3 career receiving touchdowns. And he has passed for 37 yards and 4 touchdowns. Yeah, Willis McGahee, he if he just has a marginal 500-yard season next year, he'll be at 10K. So
McGahee's still in the league?
No.
Nah, man, McGahee's chilling.
Yeah, you say if he has a season. I was like, what?
Now you talking
about I meant Derrick Henry. If I said McGahee, I apologize. I meant Derrick Henry. If Derrick Henry has a marginal 500-yard season, depending on what team he go to, he's still gonna cross 10K. He needs 500 yards across. He needs 498 yards to cross 10K.
He come to Dallas. He crossed that in the first 3 games.
If they let the Cowboys get Derrick Henry, I'm not watching the NFL no more.
It won't matter. We still got number 4.
Wasn't Baltimore trying to get Derrick Henry?
Oh, I don't know.
Rumor?
I don't know.
That was a rumor.
What does that do? Because Lamar can run. Lamar's the best running quarterback in the league. Like, what does Derrick Henry going there do?
But when you can hand it off to Derrick Henry, I mean,
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying that for someone who leads the league in rushing year in and year out, it's hard to put him behind the best rushing quarterback in the league.
Not really. Because if you think about it, you want to go get the best receivers in the league. So if you got a runner who you could go and do play action pass with, and you could also get first down, like you would no longer have to run Lamar to go get 3rd and 1s. You just don't have to. It wouldn't even make no sense.
It would take the offense to another level, but I just don't know if they're gonna allow that personally. I do feel like he would thrive somewhere like Kansas City, and I could see them allowing some shit like that to happen too.
Yeah, because they want Mahomes to win. But if I was Derrick Henry, where would I rather go? To Baltimore
or to the Cowboys?
Or would I rather go to Dallas?
Go to Dallas. Everybody wants to go to Dallas. Everybody. I
might get paid more. I might get paid more at Dallas, but I know I'm going to lose.
All these players who have NFL dreams and aspirations, they want to put on that Cowboy jersey. You know what I'm saying? So, the numbers, especially if the numbers right, but not to get off topic. I just looked and I seen the list of who else is in the who's getting in the Hall of Fame. Julius Pepper, one of my favorite players of all time. I seen the White Freeney.
He deserves it. Freeney
now,
deserves it.
We're gonna go back and rewind when he was at Syracuse and he played against Brian McKinney, and Brian McKinney had him looking like he was I don't want to say the M word, but he had him looking like a little fella, like little out there. I remember that game, and I was like, "Damn."
McKinney's probably one of the purest tackles ever to play the game.
Him and your boy from Ohio State. What was in there? Orlando Pace.
Yeah.
And Pace made it in. Pace is in.
Yeah. I see a lot of people saying they don't think Brian McKinney gonna get in. I mean, I don't know.
I think he's gonna get in.
He won't get in, but
at that point, they're doing it. It's just like I said, they hate it, man. They like, man, University might put out too many Hall of Famers, and they building something down there. I don't like it. Go ahead and hold them off. They about to announce MVP.
Craziest thing, every time they get somebody in the Hall of Fame, that's when they, we start having some real good recruiting classes.
Really?
Yeah. Just look at it. You said 18 with Ray Lewis. What year? Mark Rick. That was Mark Rick. He had the number 8 recruiting class.
So what you're saying, what you're saying is, ain't no excuse next year. We should be winning 10 plus games. That's what you're saying.
Because they put 2 Hall of Famers in.
Well, so listen, I was going to get on to this topic. We was yesterday. We were talking about the coaches hiring or coaches leaving and stuff like that.
Let's get into it.
Or is at Miami, and I'm going out and say it has to be a 10 plus win season. If it's not a 10 plus win season, then it's never going to be a good season at Miami.
I agree. I agree with you.
They got everything they needed. They needed the guy who they could trust at quarterback. This man just threw for 3,700 yards at Washington State, and their offensive line was
just announced Lamar Jackson is your 2023-24 MVP. Breaking news.
Shouts out to the homie from the crib. Yeah, man. So 3,700 yards at Washington State. I don't think their receivers was as good as the receivers we got coming back or coming in. He definitely ain't have no offensive line like us. He ain't have no running backs like us. They don't have a defense like us. So I'm like, man, if he can do all that over there, and he comes to a team with the talent, yeah. Mario, I ain't even gonna talk to nobody. I ain't talking to the players. I ain't talking to the other coaches. Mario, you better win 10.
Mm-hmm.
You better win 10, man. We lost Alonzo Highsmith. He going back to the NFL. We lost Coach Adai. He's got a defensive back, cornerback coach job with the Bills. Coach Tim Harris, he's gone at UCF.
Mm-hmm.
We have 2 coaches opening job. The GM job, I don't think Mario really going to press to hire somebody fast on that one.
Yeah, let's talk about that for a second. Is that something that we feel like we need to have?
I think you need a player personnel guy. You do need somebody to overlook the entire player personnel roster.
So my thing is, who do you
say
look at? Because a good option probably would have been Dan Morgan, but he just got the job as the GM for the Carolina Panthers, right? So, if you had to make a guess between X or Rich, like who would y'all think would be a good option for that position?
has to be a guy who has ties to University of Miami, but also has worked in the front offices in the NFL. I think
I got a name.
That same pedigree.
I got a name, and I guess a lot of y'all might forget about who this guy actually was, but he's doing pretty good in the NFL. He's in one of the front offices. Glenn Cook.
Glenn Cook, okay, yeah,
he's doing good.
I wouldn't be mad at that.
I think he's at Cleveland.
Yeah, he can come on home.
We just got the hour, baby.
Yeah, you said it was in Cleveland.
Cook, he's been doing an excellent job in the NFL. I'm not sure if he want to come back home because I know that money good over there. You know what I'm saying? So,
but at the end of the day, it's still the Cleveland Browns,
right?
Rich, does it have to be someone tied to the program?
I'm just looking at it from the formula that we got going on now that's working. And it seems to have a guy who's involved with selecting players that's from the U and know what we looking for in players. As far as knowing what NFL guys look like, I think keep the same recipe. Keep it. I think that goes a long way with everything that's going on with recruiting, where we win. The analysts we have are Miami guys through and through. You got a lot of Miami folks on the staff. Even the coaching, the coaches we pick have to know how to recruit in the South. I think we got to keep it that way because that's working. That's just my opinion.
Well, Miss Woodclock's got something for Jonathan Vilma. I don't think Jonathan Vilma would be a bad pick, but I also don't think Jonathan Vilma has done it to the point where we can.
That will be good because I would love for Jonathan Vilma to be. Now, listen, I'm gonna say this. I hope this don't even. Yeah, I don't care if we get back to Mario or whatever. Jonathan Vilma would be the one guy that would stand up to Mario. He's gonna stand up to Mario,
without a doubt.
I think that'll be something that will be good because we do need that one guy who's gonna say, "Hey." You know what I'm saying?
Well, I just want to know, can he evaluate talent? They got Prince Harry on the NFL honors? What the fuck? Can he evaluate talent is my question. You can be evaluating talent and being a play-by-play color announcer is not the same thing.
Okay, so now Streeter made a perfect analogy yesterday. Well, I'm not even gonna say it's an analogy. He made a perfect statement by saying, maybe we need to just let Mario worry about the talent. Only worry about the talent because that's his best asset. Worry about the talent, Mario. You get the talent here and let the coaches coach him up. Maybe Jonathan Vilma could help Mario with in-game experience coaching. And Mario could just focus on recruiting.
But that's the case. Why do you pay him $8 million a year to be a recruiter? That's the case. Cut his salary.
You say why you pay $8 million a year?
Yeah, if that's the case, cut his salary and bring in one of the best offensive minds in the game. Like we brought you to be a CEO. Even his involvement in the recruiting is too much, right? You're supposed to get a bunch of young hot shots in here because now it's a bunch of guys. I mean, hey, shout out to my guy. What's the DB name of recruiting? Pickett. Shout out to Pickett because he still says still go Canes.
DJ
Despite
Pickett. That's a lot. That's a lot.
Yeah, despite the fact that Adai left. But yeah, if that's the case, like what are we spending time paying Mario $8 million for? Just focus on recruiting. Like he got enough of a staff to have guys who worry about recruiting. He gotta make those decisions or not move on from them.
I mean, but at the same time, you gotta look at it like this. I think Bobby Bowden was at Florida State. I think Bobby Bowden was an excellent recruiter. And he was shit. He didn't coach a goddamn league out there. You know what I'm saying? Bobby Bowden halfway didn't know what the fuck was going on the field. Like, so,
yeah, but Bobby Bowden was significantly older too, and he also had great. He had a young Mark Rick under him. You know what I'm saying? Calling plays. So I'm saying if you're gonna do it, and he didn't make $8 million a year because we weren't paying coaches that much money back then.
Yeah, but again, true. so Maddie, look at it like this: Miami was not getting this type of talent level until Mario came. Right?
You're right. I agree. I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm just saying
him and Lonzo came and built the talent level back to where Miami should be able to compete at a high level.
And that's what I was saying about keeping the recipe the same. Like some people are like, well, we haven't won anything yet. Okay, that's where coaching comes in. But from a recruiting standpoint, we've won the offseason every single year. So we won in that department. When we talk about coaching, this is where we are having that conversation about the divide. If Mario's great at recruiting, have him do what he's great at, and then bring coaches in. Just like you said, Bobby Bowden had dogs on his staff. Go ahead and get some dog coaches, just like the running backs coach that we're talking about coming from USF. If you look at what he's done with run game fits, not just coaching running backs, that is a great hire. Get dudes like that to come in to coach your guys because that's not your strong suit. And then you continue to do what you do best. And then you make that thing mesh together.
Just for clarification, X, is that official?
So that's what we got right now. My bad.
Is that higher official, X?
Hold on. I'm trying to see which one you talk about.
The running back coach getting hired.
Oh, it hasn't officially been announced yet. Matt Merritt is eventually going to be the running back coach. It just hasn't been announced yet.
Did you share your thoughts on that? Or could you share your thoughts on that?
Okay, so yeah, I like the hire. I mean, because unless you're going to go out there and just pay a top running back coach a top salary, I like the hire. He's a good recruiter. He did coach some good running backs. He coached Zeke at Ohio State. He coached Carlos Hyde at Ohio State. I forget the other running back who came behind him. He coached at Tennessee. No, not Tennessee. Yeah.
He was assistant. He was assistant there.
He was assistant at Tennessee.
He might have been a GA.
Yeah, so I like the hire. He's a young and up and coming coach that his name has been tossed around college football. I did a little research. Haven't officially met him just yet. But yeah, I like the hire. I'm cool with that one.
What's your thoughts, Rich?
No, same thing. I mean, he's been involved in more than just coaching running backs. Looks like he's been involved in a lot of the aspects of the offense. Especially holding the same title that Tim Jr. had here. So he's not only the running backs coach, but he's, I think, assistant offensive coordinator there. Helps with run game stuff. If you look at his resume, he has deep knowledge on run game fits and stuff like that. I think that's exactly what we need, especially when we got two mobile quarterbacks who, for all intents and purposes, right now is QB1 and QB2 for University of Miami. So we got two quarterbacks who are mobile. Not saying that they're blazers, they're mobile. And you got a Dawson who was on record saying that um, he's not on record saying this, but I'm gonna say this. I don't know if he's coached extremely mobile quarterbacks before, but I think having a guy in a room like that will help you with having a quarterback who's can get out of the pocket and pick up a first down with his legs, as well as help the running back room. So that helps a lot.
Okay, let me ask you, X, is he also coming here to be a quote unquote run game coordinator?
No, as of now, it's just running back coach. As of now, it's just running back coach. We got a text about take that out of it. He's not the running game coordinator.
Okay, so help me understand. Help me, not me, but help the people understand what's a running game coordinator exactly.
The run game coordinator is the guy who helped design the runs. Who says, we'll help design the runs. Just like the pass game coordinator, who will help the receivers run the routes. So the run game coordinator, he'll be like, okay, well, offensive line, this is what. He basically working hand in hand with Coach Mirabal, as far as traps and pulling and stuff like that, and then running backs.
Right. So essentially, since they're coaching the running backs, they're like, okay, this is the type of backs we got. This is what the backs like to do. This is the blocking scheme that will work for them. This is the type of quarterbacks we got. This is where they like to run. This is where they like to escape out the pocket.
Rich, he's saying that Merritt won't do that here. He's just gonna only coach the position of running backs.
Yeah. So typically,
that's fine.
When you start saying you got run game coordinator, pass game coordinator, that typically happens when you have a coach who only focuses on the quarterback.
Right. But here's the thing. Here, let me clarify this too.
Dawson doesn't only focus on the quarterback. Dawson he takes.
But let me clarify this. Let me clarify this, and this is exactly why Tim Jr. was given that title. When you have more titles behind your name, that determines how much you get paid. So what we might be saying is he's not going to have those titles just yet. So that the pay band might be different, but that doesn't mean he's not going to be in the room doing XYZ.
No, I agree. I think just simplifying it though. Yes, that does help you get more money, right? Like how we talk about a Brian Hartline having an offensive coordinator, even though we know he doesn't probably call a lick of plays at all at Ohio State. But the what's called is a retainment title, so he can command more money through his agent. Twofold with the running coordinator, yes, they essentially help with play design. I mean, they bring them in outside and understanding what's in your room. You help play design. You help bring guys in. And like C Smooth pointed out, yeah, he may get with a mirror ball to decide, hey, who's gonna push, pull. What type of schemes you're gonna run on the O-line to make your running back successful. So yes.
I see somebody talk about why would he leave? Man, South Florida ain't Miami. Like, come on, just don't even ask that.
Yeah, don't let DVD confuse you, right? Because if Miami called DVD tomorrow, DVD would be like, "Hey, man, I know y'all just unpacked y'all stuff in Tampa. We going back."
Miami is definitely going to pay him more than he's getting paid at South Florida.
Yeah, those budgets are way different.
Yeah, so that why wouldn't he? Like, that's easy. Tim went back to UCF because he's the offensive coordinator. If he didn't get the offensive coordinator title, guess what? He was not leaving. So
and not to mention
different than South Florida.
Yeah, and not to mention just kind of the trajectory of guys like people seem to forget. Guess who else was a Gus Malzahn product as an OC? Rhett Lashley. Right. So if you're Tim Harris, you have aspirations of being a head coach one day. don't look at it as a downgrade. Look at it as a where can this set up my trajectory, right? So definitely no hard feelings for Tim Harris. I'm happy for him. I'm glad he got that opportunity. Go make the most of it. Because boy, I tell you, if you do not have that offense humming, regardless if you call the plays or not, like just because you have the title, you expect them to recruit well for South Florida, as well as, which is a Power 5 program now for the record, as well as be able to and you got the ties down here in South Florida, so expect us to be in some battles with some USF guys. UCF guys, excuse me. Yeah. But you also got to do it on the field. You gotta be.
We ain't worried about UCF. We ain't worried about no school in the state of Florida. We worried about Ohio State, Georgia, Bama.
That's fair. That's fair.
About big dogs, man. We ain't worried about no school in the state of Florida. You know what I'm saying? If we want
they gonna get one or two though. They gonna get one or two every year though.
And if we want the big dogs, we gonna go. We taking them. We ain't worried about no school in the state of Florida. Like I can speak on. Okay, so Florida had one player who we wanted that we didn't get. You know what I'm saying? The big dog.
LJ.
Florida State didn't have not one player we wanted. If we wanted those guys, we would have got them. You know what I'm saying? The two guys from down here.
No, they had one we wanted. We took them.
Yeah, we took.
Shout out to that boy from Largo, Darius Hayes.
Yeah, my bad. So yeah, we did take one from Florida. We took one from Florida State too. You know what I'm saying? But we not worried about those two schools. You know what I'm saying? We worried about Ohio State, Texas, LSU, Bama, Georgia. You know what I'm saying? Oregon. Yeah, Oregon. Oregon is starting to kind of piss me off a little bit.
I mean, they running the West Coast. Who else is out there? The USC experience.
Doesn't matter. They Big Ten now. They with the big boys.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, that too.
And they got USC and UCLA also with them in the Big Ten. So yeah, we'll talk about that conference alignment thing on another episode. But
yeah. But so now back to the defensive back coach is being rumored that it might be a guy, Chavis Jackson, DB coach. He's currently at Marshall. Previously coached with Coach Guidry.
Mm-hmm. How you feel about that?
He played on the LSU team that won the championship in 2007 with
the 2007 Nick Saban coach team with Jimbo as the OC. Yeah, that team.
That was Nick Saban team.
That was 07. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Man, Nick Saban was at with the Dolphins by that time.
Was he? Oh, who was the coach then?
Les Miles.
Oh, it was the Mad Hatter. You right.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
Yes, you right.
Les Miles won 2 with them for them.
Did he? I thought he just won 1.
He won 2. He won that one in 07. Then he won the one with Joe Barrow and them.
No, that was my one with Joe Barrow. Les Miles was already at Kansas.
Okay, so Les Miles won in 07, and then what's his name won it with Joe Barrow? Yeah, the great Coach O won it with Joe Barrow.
Yeah, he just won 1 national championship. He won the SEC twice. He won in 07 and 11. So what's your thoughts on this rumored defensive back coach?
I really don't have any thoughts on it just yet. I've reached out, I've talked to somebody who actually knows him personally. He says he's a good guy, good coach. He's good around people. So the only positive I got is that, and then the fact that he coached with Coach Guidry.
Can he recruit?
Haven't reached out to any recruits or nothing like that yet because don't nobody really know him.
I mean, he doesn't have an opportunity to recruit at a big school yet. So, I will say this: playing for a national championship team definitely has some upside, right? I don't know how it translates to coaching per se. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. I think familiarity with Guidry helps so that he can really solidify some of those passing concepts. I think Guidry's defense kind of fit like hand in the glove, but I think having someone, especially for a guy like Jaden Harris, not Davis, helping him fill that role. If he is going to be a starting safety, which I don't foresee, but if he is going to make a push for it, he's going to have to be hand in hand with that dude to help him understand what it is they're looking for at that safety position. And even not if it's not him, Niche Powell, my man who just came over from Vanderbilt, they got to get with him along with Guidry to help him teach that and coach that up on the back end so they know exactly what they're seeing because Guidry has experience with this guy. Additionally, I think being able to get a stronger foothold in the state of Louisiana with a young up-and-coming African-American coach that can, because at least you're going to put out some DBs. That's what they're going to do. But getting him in that state and kind of getting him to put some, kind of plant his roots a little bit and get some more of them so we don't miss out on the guys like a Dylan Day, I think it's going to be huge.
Hey, and he's not even from Louisiana. He's from Alabama.
Even better. That's two states we get to.
From Alabama, but he has a whole. He has so many ties in
basically SEC country, right? Going there, put your foothold in SEC country, knowing that you won a conference championship multiple times as well as a national championship. That's definitely what we need is to, like, we talking about recruiting, talking about the big dogs. Yeah, we already see guys like Jason Taylor turn out to be a hit, right? That's JT though, you know what I'm saying? And that's defensive line. But getting somebody in that Alabama, Georgia, Louisiana territory, the Carolinas, Tennessee, yeah, I'm definitely here for it because I don't know if our future's in the SEC, but we definitely want to make a foothold. But nothing confirmed yet. This is all speculation. But Rich, what's your thoughts on him?
No, I think he's from number one. If he is coming from Marshall and he's the number one candidate right now, that's Lance Guidry's guy, right? Because it's coming from where he's coming from. That says a lot about the trust that Mario has in Lance Guidry. And it means great things for our defense. That means we're going to continue to get better because we're going to fully immerse ourselves in the Lance Guidry philosophy and have an identity on defense. Same thing we're trying to do on offense, where we fully immerse ourselves into a offensive coordinator's style and we develop an identity. So on defense is progressing a little bit further along than the offense right now. And I think that's what this hire symbolizes. I don't know if he could recruit at a big time level. I don't know if he can go land blue chip guys year in and year out. Obviously, he hasn't been given the opportunity until now if he is going to be the coach. So that's yet to be desired. But once again, I think if he's a great X's and O's coach, you let the guys who are great at recruiting that we currently already have in our staff, you let them continue to recruit and do what they're great at. And just like Joseph Adai was a great X's and O's person, believe it or not, right? So you let this guy be a great X's and O's guys, and you just continue that same formula you got with recruiting, and everything will work itself out.
I don't know about that, Rich.
And Mario is going to recruit the defensive back this year.
Oh, he's gonna do it himself.
Yeah, Mario's recruiting.
There you go.
He's enforcing the fact that he's going after the defensive backs this year.
Perfect.
I
need Guidry installing his identity like 100%.
So let me ask that because I disagree. I feel like you got to be able to do both, right? If your X's and O's aren't great, I get it, but at some point you have to be able to close it. Like 52 Biggie asks, I talked all about the SEC country, right? Well, he asked the question that's the most important. He's like, can he get the South Florida dogs? The guys who are them demons at IMG and all throughout South Florida. Can we secure those guys? Because we see one too many times in the last couple of years. Like, yeah, we go in pretty much since Adai's been here. We've always kind of had those question marks about Yeah, on the field, they're going to develop. They're going to be great. But are we getting the elite prospects? We can probably give him a point for. I'll give him a point for Brown, right? I'll give him that point. But outside of that, has he really hit?
I mean, we're not gonna hit on the major ones unless we winning.
I mean,
it's really that simple.
No, you can't say that, X. I mean, you can't say that, Rich, because we already dispelled that rumor, right? Because we're not winning, and we still getting elite prospects.
Okay,
like, defensive lineman ain't saying that.
We didn't get Ellis Robinson.
He hit with Stanford. He hit with Brown. He hit with this class. He hit with Zaquan Patterson.
Was that him or Guidry? Zaquan.
Zaquan. I mean, it was Mario, really. But
now check this out too. Don't. This is something that we have to understand too. Most guys want to stay. If we were a 10 plus win program consistently, most guys, regardless of position, they want to stay home. We already, if they're from the crib, they're already leaning towards staying at the crib. So part of that recruiting or loving where they are, that's already done. I really think that, number one, you want to know whether or not you're going to get developed when you're on Green Tree. I think that's a big part of it. But number two, when you step on the field on Saturday, are you going to pull out those wins?
Porter Jr. don't count, for the record. Porter Jr. was at a whole different school.
Who? Oh,
I don't count Porter Jr. He didn't recruit him here. He just got him to transfer.
Yeah, he transferred back.
That don't count. Same thing with Jaden Davis. I can't give him credit for Jaden Davis. Jaden Davis got developed somewhere else.
So you saying Stevenson don't count either?
No, absolutely not. But Stevenson gets a pass from him because he got Stevenson from South Ridge at Georgia. Then Stevenson followed him to Miami, so he gets a pass for Stevenson. He don't get a pass for Jaden Harris. I mean, for Daryl Porter or Jaden Davis.
What you think about what he did with Ivy?
I don't count Ivy because Ivy had 3 different DB coaches in 3 years. I can't count him. Ivy's got a bunch of good stuff and bad stuff year in and year out, and he just took the good and used it in the league. I can't count Ivy. So,
but yeah, I think, as I said, Mario's going to make it his focal point to get the top DB class. So one thing Rich did say, I mean, if you win, you win 10 plus games, those DBs gonna come. You know what I'm saying? It's if Miami won 10 games last year, Ellis Robinson is a Hurricane. You know what I'm saying? That's clear as day. Jeremiah Smith is a Hurricane also. It's certain guys out there that's Hurricanes if Miami wins those 10 games. You know what I'm saying? So Miami got to do their part. They got to win games.
I agree.
Man, I was randomly watching 247 Sports. They were having a live podcast earlier today. Dude from Wisconsin, offensive lineman. Miami came in there late and was recruiting this guy. He was being recruited by Notre Dame since the jump. 6'8", 320, huge kid. And they literally said, and then Miami came in late. They literally was like, yeah, he stuck with Notre Dame, but Miami was like Miami gave him some things to think about and was a very, very close second. And I say that because Notre Dame is like, if you had to look at brands of schools, Notre Dame is up there, probably the number one brand when we talk about college. But Miami's not too far away. I'm pretty sure if Miami's a 10-win type program year in and year out consistently, a kid like that from Wisconsin comes to Miami over a school that that was his school, as a kid. That was his favorite school. He comes to Miami. So winning does it.
Yeah, winning. Trust me, winning. Remember when Mark Rick got here, man? We went 9-4 that first year. Then we went 10-3, and then we had a number 8 recruiting class. Mario get the number 3, number 4 recruiting class, and he won 7 games this year. Mario win 10 plus games. It gets funky.
No, I agree. I'm not arguing that point at all. What I am saying is that, to the original point, winning matters, cool, but I'm not going to solely leave it at that, as if the people still ain't got to recruit. Like, you still got to recruit, because once again, we can say that, but Miami got the best defensive line class in America, the best offensive line class in America, after what most would consider poor winning seasons.
But Mehdi, okay, so let's be realistic about that defensive line class. Mehdi, you're a defensive lineman, you're a defensive tackle, defensive end. Jason Taylor comes to you. You saying, even if he's not a good recruiter, I want to play for him because he got a gold jacket. Like,
David Stone didn't say that.
Yeah, he did.
Who Oklahoma staff got a gold jacket?
David Stone just wanted to go to Oklahoma. Like, his family, everybody.
Mama's boy from Oklahoma.
His own mama didn't want him there. His own mama had a
But what I'm saying, like, everybody wanted him at Miami. He wanted to make his own decision.
Shout out to him, I guess. But, yes, I do get winning is important, and it obviously will push this program to astronomical heights as far as recruiting will go. Right? That's not even a question. But once again, I would be remiss if I didn't say recruiting still has something to do with it too. You have to get the dogs in place when you're not winning to be able to build on those winning seasons, right? Like, we were asked 5-7 year one. He ends up getting rid of 40 kids, brings in a whole bunch of them. Offensive line significantly gets better. But we had a quarterback issue, which the part that no one's talking about, you know what I'm saying, that probably kept us from some wins. It definitely kept us from some wins. Somehow you still finesse that into number 3 class in America. Shout out to Mario. He's a GOAT recruiter. Yeah, winning has to happen this year, and I don't think it could be just a couple wins. It has to be pretty significant, and you have to make some noise in this conference for a multitude of reasons. Like I said, one being is we got to get the hell out of this conference. We got to start putting on our audition tape for someone else like the Big Ten or the SEC, preferably the Big Ten for me. So winning is not something I'm missing. I'm talking about a die need to hit better with some recruits. And I don't think it's solely on winning, because the other recruit class or the other position groups didn't care about that. They just care about opportunities to play and hopefully change the tide. Those guys in here now. We don't know. X said you hit on Stafford. I don't know if Stafford's going to be a guy yet. I need to see Stafford ball out. I need to see Stafford make some noise in this spring camp. Stafford going to what, his redshirt junior year or redshirt sophomore?
Stafford is a redshirt freshman this year.
Last year was his first year?
Yeah, Stafford was.
Okay.
Stafford was a part of that good class last year.
Okay. So, yeah, I need to see him, you know what I'm saying? I need to see him make some noise this year, as well as, you know, I think Damari's going to make some noise. He's already started making noise.
He's going to start pretty much.
We know what DP2 is, you know what I'm saying? We already know that. We know he bringing a Mish Powell, but that's not a guy you developed. That's not your guy. That's a guy that came from a national championship appearance program that got developed already, and you got to go make him, you know. And then behind that, how do you get those other? When those guys come off the field and they rotate out and get they rest in between snaps, is there a significant drop off when the next group gets in the game? I'll give you an example. With linebackers, when guys rotated out, you could feel, maybe not last year, it was a little bit better last year, but 2 years ago, when the linebackers got it was like, oh, it's bad when they get out. Like, when this guy gets out of the game, it's a drop off. Mm-hmm. Right?
I mean, the same way with the O-line. The O-line.
Exactly. Same with O-line.
Yeah. We just ain't have depth. You know what I'm saying? Which is what Mario was saying. Like, yeah, boy, we ain't got depth, because once the first unit goes out or they injured, it's fuck.
Yeah.
So now we got depth. I think we got depth at all levels of the game. I think the only one position I'm kind of still, I wish we could. I mean, but he didn't do as bad, you know, when he had his opportunity with center, with Ryan Rodriguez at center. So, But I think Streeter did point out the other day about the cornerbacks. You know, now we have Mari Brown. We know can pretty much play. We know we got Darryl Porter who could pretty. You know, he's good. Jadias Richards, he's. You know what I'm saying? Here and there, he's pretty decent. Now you're looking for another 3 cornerbacks. You know, he said Stafford, he has to come and play. Demetrius Freeney, the JUCO guy, he has to. You know, so we definitely got to see who's gonna, put on their big boy pants, man, because Mario wants depth to be good at Miami.
Reason one, it has to be good. Like you don't got a choice. Like with as much offense as you brought in and bringing in a quarterback like that, you can't afford to have a drop off that's going to cost you games when those guys get out. You got to have significant depth. I feel way better about the linebacker room than I have in a few, probably since Shaquille Quarterman's been here.
Yeah.
I feel
and Shaq, those guys just never got off the field too.
Yeah, they never came out.
Have backups.
Yeah, they never came out the field. So like this is the first time we've had depth at linebacker. Well, if Kinko and Wesley goes out, I think you got 4 linebackers behind them that could come in and play.
Malik, Marcellus, Popo,
you got Bobby, Chase. No, can't leave out Chase. You know what I'm saying? I'm hearing excellent things about Darius Hayes. You got that Darius Hayes. They say he's already like, he's 6'4", almost like 235.
Yeah. Smacking shit.
So we got players at that linebacker position group. And last year we went 4 deep at linebacker. We lost, we lose KJ Cloud and we lose Corey Flagg.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So now you need another 2 to see who's going to play behind Wesley and Kiko. And it's looking like it's Popo and Marcellus as of now. But Malik and Bobby, they ready to play. You know what I'm saying? They ready to play, man.
Like I said, I feel great about that room. DB still leaves me a little bit skeptical, but I'm not totally running for the hills. I think there's been some decent talent, and obviously some guys still got it. We have too many people on the roster, so some guys will depart after spring. That's the part we keep forgetting about. After spring, we will probably get some more guys, and there'll still be some talent acquisition. If y'all know Mario, y'all know he didn't go out and get a particular receiver until September in the year. You know what I'm saying? So it's not as if everything is set in stone and spring is over. No, this is still going to be talent acquisition, and then you got all those Michigan players chopped at the bit who got essentially finessed when they got trapped in school because Harbaugh took the Chargers job. So, and all they coaches basically leaving.
Same thing with Alabama.
And the simple fact
now, Alabama, those guys got an opportunity to leave in time because they got their 30 days before school started. I mean, Michigan got finessed.
And the simple fact that Michigan about to get hit, man. And I feel sad for the black man, but I don't feel sad for him because he should have got his ass up out of there. Like, this motherfucker finna leave. I'm leaving too. Shit, he ain't gonna stick me with this bullshit.
I heard a rumor. I don't know if it's true or not that Jim Harbaugh put in his contract with Michigan basically basically something to
I can't get in trouble clause.
Essentially, yeah. Basically,
that's why he left.
Yeah, it's like the school get fucked up. I got nothing to do with that. That's y'all. Y'all accepted that. It is what it is. And if that is the case, that has got to be the most diabolical work I've ever seen.
Look. I said it all. I said, man, Harbaugh sitting here and laughing at these motherfuckers. He like, yeah, come on. What y'all finna? I gotta sit out 3 games. No problem. My team playing good. We finna go to the championship. I'm gonna win the championship finally, and I'm gonna get my ass about it.
He sat out 6 games, didn't he? Or he sat out 4?
I think it was 4.
He sat the first 3 out against. They play like Willacoochee State, School of the Blind, and Then he sat out when they got caught for that was for the recruiting violation. Then he sat another one out when they caught him with the dude cheating and spying on him.
Yep.
So. And they still went to the national championship and won. So, he knew exactly what he was. He probably did that last year to put the fielders out like, hey, I want to leave. I want to leave. Then he put his plan in place to cheat, to get Michigan a championship as an alumni. Now it's all said and done. He's like, all right, Y'all got your championship. I'm out scot-free.
This goddamn guy who's the coach now, man, I'm like, nigga.
But you know what's crazy? Ohio State wished that was them. Ohio State would love for Ryan Day to do that.
Well, they got refs to chief for him. The refs gonna do it on the field for him. The refs gonna do it on the field for him. You know what I'm saying? Courtesy of the Terry Porters of the world, so they ain't got to worry about that.
They probably like, what, Ryan Day? Why can't you be like that? Why can't you cheat just like that?
I'm gonna tell you something too. Don't be surprised, man, that other teams after spring head coaches leave, because it's been talked about that a lot of these coaches can't sustain or want to compete in this new era of college football. So,
and I can't blame them. And we talked about that. Like, hey, shout out to Dion, man. I wish I put it on. I could put up that YouTube clip, but I'll get thrown in YouTube jail again. But he excellently explained the difference between NIL and collectives, and I don't think a lot of people understood that. And when he said it, I was like, man, Dion saying the quiet part out loud, man. Shout out to Dion. But he did an excellent job of explaining that construct.
That
these collectives are running and ruining college football, not the NIL. You know what I'm saying? The NIL is when I'm Kiko Maunoa and Francisco Maunoa, and we do a college Hunks for Junks video. We got paid. Our likeness was used to endorse the company. That's how it's supposed to work. Instead, people are just getting paid millions of dollars from collecting. And I'm not gonna lie, Miami's doing it. You know, shout out to Kings collectives now, but I think we lost sight of that. So
we had to see, and that's the crazy part. Miami was outlining how to do NIL right.
Correct.
And we had to go to a collective system because this is what the rest of college football is doing.
And you got to keep up.
The NCAA wasn't saying anything about it. So it's like, okay, well, what else? I mean, in order to be competitive, this is what we got to do. For
sure. But I don't know, man. I feel like at some point we got to either NCAA need to shut up and get the hell out the way or do their job. But someone got to reel it in because this is getting out of control, in my opinion. But we'll talk about that for another day because, after spring, there'll definitely be more to talk about. There's definitely going to be some heads rolling as the NCAA now tries to go back and walk back all the things that they did. That's definitely about to happen. So I wouldn't even get too pressed about it right now, but just know, we said it here. There will be something to be said, whether it's positive or negative about the University of Miami or other college football organizations. The NCAA is going to say or stand up or do something. They're not just simply going to lay down and be like, yeah, cool. Now, if that's going to help with, the alliance, the Big Ten and the SEC is doing, which sounds like they're leveraging to break away to their own league.
Bye, NCAA.
Yeah, it's over with after that. I hope that doesn't happen.
NCAA for they about to stick it to Tennessee, man. They about to stick it to those boys, and them boys tried to take that lawsuit to court, and they were like, "They got no motherfucker." Y'all finna get these.
Yeah,
I don't think it's over though.
It's not. It's not. They gonna look. Tennessee gonna try to drag them, but it's
they're gonna drag them. They're gonna drag because we talking about antitrust. I mean, they're gonna try to drag them. But here's the thing though. I think the NCAA, to be honest, the best thing that they could do is I think they need to increase that scholarship limit for football to 100 scholarships or eliminate it, because you have a lot of kids sitting in the portal who could be on teams who want to play for certain places who can't go because of the scholarship limit. And we all know it's about money at the end of the day. So there's money to be had out here. It's kind of like free agency. So, if teams are out there and they want to stockpile, now you have a place to go to stockpile.
That's an interesting one. I don't disagree. It's interesting to think about. I don't know if 100. I don't know. I think they can put reins back on the transfer portal. I think the transfer portal got out of control because they just kept pulling back they kept put when they made that unlimited transfer rule. That was insanity. I don't know what they were thinking about or who thought that was a good idea.
But they had to do it. They had to do it because of that COVID year. You know what I'm saying? Because it was just a lot of players that got lost in the sauce. You know what I'm saying? So now you got some players who probably didn't do nothing their freshman, sophomore, or junior year.
I hear you, but put this in perspective, X. Nobody who just signed or who just got to school was affected by that. Those people who just signed to the school all were high school freshmen when COVID happened. Everybody who just got to campus.
Can't put a limit on what grade or what year can transfer. I mean, if you can transfer, then everybody can transfer. So
yeah, but what I'm saying is like most of the people who were affected by COVID is about to be out of college for the most part. So,
yeah, but
so I thought it was supposed to be.
You know how many 6-year seniors that's still in college because of that COVID year? Like 6 year, we talk about 6-year seniors. Like,
we talking about Cam McCormick, who's about to be a decade in college.
He can run for president right now, man.
Yeah. What I'm saying is, at some point, I thought the COVID year was supposed to help for a large majority of the people who lost a year of football, because of the COVID and the uncertainty with their teams and their seasons. It's supposed to help with that, but instead, it seems like it just became an additional crutch for guys that just stay in college. And we're now those guys who are now true freshmen showing up on campus have not been affected by that. They got affected by that before they left middle school. There should not be a COVID rule anymore. And you guys are getting extra years. Like you should have it's like essentially having 2 red shirts with a free opportunity to transfer wherever you want. And if you don't play, it's basically a 3rd red shirt. You know what I'm saying? I think that's just kind of taken away from what the point was.
Here's something else to consider is because of the way that coaches can breach their contract. I think this is why you have parity with the transfer portal, where kids can transfer year over year, semester after semester as well. And the other part of that is you have some coaches that are making kids lean towards jumping in the transfer portal because they don't want them back on their team. So I think that's why you're making it limited, because if I ain't gonna throw no names out there, but if I'm a player and I've been on the squad for 3 years and I've yet to crack the 3D, and that coach is like, bruh, it's a 6'4" wide receiver over here, you 5'11", you're not cracking even the 3 or 4 deep. Like, I want you out of here. So now what am I gonna do? Because I was forced out. So should I only get one chance to transfer in the transfer portal?
I agree. I think there should be more transparency, and that's why I said this is where the NCAA needs to start drawing guidelines. But it seems like they just do this, and now they're trying to spin the block and make up all these rules because it feels like people are leveraging to get them out of the process. Let's be clear. I know a lot of people may be for it, but I am not a fan of, unless Miami gets picked up, I am not a fan of the SEC and the Big Ten creating 2 super conferences, because that means we can free all that recruiting shit go down the drain, because all the kids just want to go. They're going to want to go to that super conference.
So you're not a fan? We're going to one of those conferences. We're going to one of those conferences. You're not a fan?
Maybe I'll be a fan when we in them conferences, but right now we're on the outside looking in. And if that happens, if it actually comes to fruition before we get pulled up to that conference, like let's say if it happens in the summer, right? They say, hey, we announced it with the plan.
It can't happen. It ain't happening until 2027 or after.
Oh, for sure. But I'm saying, let's say hypothetically, right? They figure out some loophole and they say, hey, starting the 2025 season, this is what the new college was like. We can forget all these recruits because they all just going to be the big time blue chip is going to be eyeing going to what is basically becoming the USFL of college football, or the NFL of college football. And everybody else is going to be on the outside looking in until they get called up to the big league. So yeah. And then that means what? All them big conferences are going to start coming trying to poach Miami kids. And that's going to make it that much harder.
Yeah, I mean, if a scenario like that happens, yeah, man. But we getting in, like, we getting in.
One thing
when they do the major, see now, the one thing, and then I was told this from a coach the other day was that they wanted to be a 2-man conference, but they also can possibly make it a 3, where the Big 12 start getting some other schools. You know what I'm saying? Like you might have like some Nebraska might end up going back to the Big 12, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And
I hear that.
Big 10 and
I hear that, but in the current format, it would look like SEC is the AFC, Big 10 the NFC, and let's be honest, the
everybody else is outside.
Yeah, the Pac-12 would be USFL. Like it's not the same. Yeah, it's kind of there, but it's like we don't really look at them like that. Every kid will be leveraging to try to get to one of the big two because the revenue doesn't match up. Pac-12 is not making the same caliber of revenue as the Big 10 and the SEC. Definitely. It doesn't match up. So even if you pull, let's say you pulled a bunch of, there's not even really no big name college football brands left like that. Maybe what you got, basically FSU, University of Miami. I don't count North Carolina because they're a basketball school. I don't count Clemson. Actually, I can't count Clemson, but they've had recent success and it hasn't been sustained. And Jimbo is so close-minded to the transfer portal, so there's no leverage to lure kids there, right? So if you count those 4 schools and maybe Virginia Tech been bad for going on a decade.
They've been bad for a while, but I think Clemson gets in.
Yeah, I'm saying Clemson can't.
I think Clemson get in, and the UNC gets in because the education at those 2 schools are top notch.
Which thing got nothing to do with education, because that's the case. Stanford got pulled over. We pulled them over to the ACC. It's about But about brains.
I think it's funny you mentioned Stanford. If a Stanford is part of one of those, let's say there's a Big 3, Big 10, SEC, Big 12. If Stanford gets pulled into one of those 3, they're going to be significantly better in football. And part of the prowess for them is going to be, I can't, in terms of how elite their education is, Stanford is probably one of the only schools, just like a Duke is similar, where you can go play football there at a high level, but the kids that are your peers in the classroom, they're not there to find a job. They're there to create a job. And then you're sitting right next to them. So you're sitting right next to the person that's going to invent Facebook. It's different. They kind of have a best of both world things going on.
All I know is, man, Miami gonna be good. We gonna get in. I keep telling everybody after 2026, Miami's gonna either be in the Big 10 or the SEC. Hopefully we've proved ourselves by then.
Yeah.
Makes it a lot better, you know what I'm saying?
That's what I care. I know brands come in, and I hear what you're saying, Rich, because I do think education just has to be a factor, especially for the Big 10. But we got to be able to. They want to draw big brands that's going to have the illustriousness of college football as well. You know what I'm saying? Clemson's one of those teams. I agree. Stanford, I don't think so. I think that is more education based, but in this era of capitalism, them people can really give a shit about education. They care about making money.
I feel you.
But yeah, let's get ready to get up out of here, guys, man. Like appreciate y'all pulling up to the show, man, tonight. Appreciate everybody in the chat, man. Make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe on the way out. X, you got anything to add before we get up out of here?
Nah, I ain't got nothing. I don't know if I'm gonna do a space next week Wednesday, because next week Wednesday is Valentine's Day. I know y'all don't want to hear me talk about no Valentine's Day.
Everybody's gonna be on a whole date out here, man.
Yeah, I might do it Tuesday. I might go Tuesday, or Thursday. It'll be. I mean, well, whatever day we don't go live on here, I do it then. So.
Yeah, man. Hey, shout out, X Spaces, man. Pay attention to the Twitter feed, or X if you want to call it that. Pay attention to X for X. He'll let y'all know via the Caneville Twitter when we on the space again. Rich, you got anything to say to the people before we get up out of here?
Nah. Enjoy your Friday. It's the weekend, baby.
Yes. Real quick before we get up out of here, man. Super Bowl predictions. Who you got winning, Rich?
Kansas City.
What about you, X?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Kansas City, man, because the other team got a racist dude over there who I don't like, so I'm gonna ride with Kansas City.
I ain't gonna actually elaborate, but we'll leave it at that. I'm going Kansas City too, man, with 3 for 3. So there it is right there. Kansas City for the Super Bowl. Will this be Pat Mahomes' third Super Bowl in
Yeah. Then you know the homie Deion Bush over there too, man. I want to
sir. Yes, sir. Shout out to that boy Bush, man. I remember that, man. Shout out to the Bush family, man. They dad used to teach at Southridge, man. Mr. Bush, man. I know none of the Bush family for a long time, man. Shout out to them guys over there, man. But yeah, man, we appreciate y'all pulling up, man. Appreciate y'all being here. Y'all have a good night. We about this thing.